In this segment, we want to talk about the German underwater habitat Helgoland. Now, put it in perspective. We're talking the concept of Helgoland was developed in 1966. We're only talking just a little over 20 years since World War II, so there were still some tensions and distrust in Europe. The Soviet Union was coming to power and flexing their muscle. So Helgoland was really developed by Germany in response to the Americans and the French underwater habitats. Remember, the Americans were building Sea Lab and Tektite, and the French explorer Jacques Cousteau was busy building Conch Shelf. So the Germans came up with the concept Helgoland. Now Helgoland, by underwater habitat standards, was quite spacious. It was about 30 feet by 20 feet, consisting of 2 rooms. It had a separate wet room and then the work area. It was very, very sturdy, designed to set at a depth of about 328 feet. And at the time, one of the unique things about it was that it was supplied by an unmanned surface buoy. Now, it wasn't a small buoy, obviously. It was a very large buoy because you had to pump in life support and filter out carbon dioxide, everything else. But one of the things that necessitated having an unmanned surface buoy was the location. Helgoland was the first underwater habitat that was designed for an extreme environment, and we're talking the environment of the North Sea. Everybody else, the French, the Americans, we were wanting to sit down in the Bahamas, and we were wanting to sit in the Red Sea where it was nice and clear and calm and warm. Helgoland, again, was designed for the extreme environment of the North Sea. Now, Helgoland had since there was no manned support vessel like we had with Conch Shelf and with Sea Lab and with Tektite, had a one-man emergency decompression habitat attached to it. So if one man needed to be evacuated because of sickness, of injury, or whatever, he could enter the emergency decompression chamber and could be sent to the surface with no problems. If there was a larger emergency that might affect the entire crew, Helgoland was designed so the crew could actually decompress within the habitat itself. Once they decompressed, then they could put on their scuba gear and just exit right to the surface. It was a very, very, very good design. Now, Helgoland had quite an extensive array of scientific missions. Again, we're talking the extreme environment of the North Sea, and not a lot of work had been done there. So Helgoland, over the years, did research in marine biology, general oceanography, geology. They also did human psychological and physiological studies. Now, Helgoland was modified and expanded in 1971. And of course, once you modify and expand it, you got to put another name out there, so it became the Helgoland 2. Its last mission was in 1976. It was the last mission because the gentleman who had the concept and created Helgoland passed away. With his passing, there was just no interest left in underwater habitats, and as you see from the readings, all of the habitats were fading away at this time. So the last mission was in 1976. Helgoland was officially retired in 1979. Today, Helgoland sits in a small town southwest of the city of Hamburg, Germany, where it still sits exposed to the elements and continues to deteriorate.